What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. It's free. It helps get the video out there. Definitely watch this video to the end so you can hear the full story and all the details in the case. Everything in this video is alleged. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. For most people, when we wake up in the morning, hit that clock and go to work, it's to take care of ourselves and families if you have one. Most jobs have politics, maybe co-workers that don't get along, or cliques, a boss who might overmanage and be on everybody's heels, and we all know that co-worker who takes the job too seriously and act like they own the company. But with most jobs, that comes with the territory, and most people don't care, as long as every week or every 2 weeks, their checks are good. Some jobs are professional, and there's not too much drama at the company, even when people don't get along. But every now and again, depending on where you work at, the streets will cross into the workplace. For example, you could work at a warehouse who hire felons and people who may be on work release, or maybe they just come from a street background and are now trying to get their life together. I myself got my first warehouse job on work release and stayed there 5 years. It helped me get on my feet after prison and stay out of trouble. And for most, that's the goal. But when you are young, hot-headed, and full of ego with a street mindset, some might bring that energy to the workplace. I'm sure we have all worked with somebody who swore up and down nobody at the job better not play with them, or they was gonna crash out. They act like every day they was ready to go to prison. Most of the time, they probably was bluffing or just talking, as most responsible adults need their job and will probably rather find another one before they jeopardize their freedom and go to jail. But what happens when somebody really is carrying it like that and standing on street politics at work? Things can go left real fast. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it to Chattanooga, Tennessee to discuss the case of 2 men who were ops and co-workers. Then one day, things turned fatal. Back in 2022, 26-year-old Addison Foster was trying to navigate life in Tennessee. Addison had a troubled past, a bunch of run-ins with police at a young age. As a teenager, he would find himself in some serious trouble, facing charges like carjacking and catching others at school. In his area, he was labeled a troubled youth. Growing up in Chattanooga, he saw a lot and did a lot early on. But now a little bit older, he was trying to put all that behind him and do things the right way. So he decided he would go and get a job. Another man who was also navigating in the city was 21-year-old London Dews. Described as an outgoing young man who in high school was into sports, with his favorite one being boxing. London came from a big family and had 9 siblings. Even though he had a decent upbringing, he too would be exposed to some things growing up in the streets. He had a few run-ins with police as well. See, allegedly, both young men were a part of local gangs, in which the area of Chattanooga they came from was just an everyday part of life. But the gangs they belonged to didn't get along. So to London's surprise, he was shocked when he saw Addison at work. Now they locked in on each other and was now co-workers. Addison had already knew London from the streets and felt he was a rival or op. He would instantly start letting it be known he didn't care if they were co-workers. He felt he was an op and he was on that type of time. Some days after work, Addison would go on Facebook and make sure he let it be known he confronted London on the job. He bragged about how the young man didn't want no smoke, and London's game wasn't like that. As days went on, tension grew on the job, and other co-workers felt something would go down if the two kept working together. But London, only 21, was trying to find his way in the world and wasn't going to let Addison stop him from making a living. To him, the situation wasn't about nothing. He was just another op talking crazy. and he wasn't buying the Wolf tickets Addison was selling. On May 3rd, 2022, it was a normal day for both young men. They headed to work. It's not clear what company they worked for, but around about 5:30 p.m. in a local apartment complex located in the 1500 block of Hickory Valley Road, it was a nice spring day, so it was a lot of people outside. When in the middle of the evening, shots went off. Witnesses called local police. When they responded to the scene, they found the man suffering from gunshot wounds. There wasn't much they could do, and he would be pronounced gone at the scene, and unfortunately, he was identified as London. Police found a Nike ski mask and a cell phone on the scene. Witnesses told them they saw a man walk up to London, say a few words before he shot. As police started their investigation, they focused in on cameras in the area, also the cell phone, and tried to find out who it belonged to. When they viewed the cameras, they saw a man wearing the same Nike ski mask earlier that day. As they found out who the cell phone belonged to, they got a hit. It was Addison. One of the officers looked back at the footage, who was familiar with the young man, and felt he recognized him by the hair and the bop, or the way he walked, as he had been having run-ins with Addison since he was a juvenile. Police went to talk to the young man. When they asked him about London, he claimed they were co-workers and he didn't like him because they was in rival gangs. But he claimed he didn't shoot him because it wasn't that deep. But with the Facebook messages, the Nike ski mask, and his cell phone being left on the scene, they felt there was enough evidence to charge him with criminal homicide. While awaiting trial, Addison would catch another charge when a nurse who worked at the Hamilton County Jail, where he was housed at, claimed when she walked by Addison's cell, he tried to grab her and was making comments she wasn't comfortable with. With that, the young man ended up catching another street charge. As of now, there's no new updates on this case, and Addison is innocent until proven otherwise. Rest in peace to London. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. 21 years old. Shorty didn't even have time to outgrow his mindset. He had only been 21 for a few weeks, as his birthday was in April. It seemed like he was trying to work and do the right things, but sometimes when you affiliate yourself with something like a gang, even if you hopped in as a kid or teen, it can create enemies and come back on you. And depending on what happened between his gang and Addison's, sometimes people want revenge. But if Addison did do what they alleged he did, that's crazy. 26 years old. He was a little bit older, pushing 30. So to go from one day having a job, going to work, doing the right thing, to the next sitting in a cell, facing decades in prison, is crazy. But I guess to some, like the hoppers like to say, catching the op is all worth it. But I want to know y'all thoughts about this situation, fam. Y'all let me know in the comments. And remember, we gotta succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Yeah, man, this is a super crazy story. Rest in peace, that young man. I definitely send my prayers to his family. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. Y'all leave it in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. It's another episode of Hood Tales. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.